Hey y'all! Welcome back to the channel. My name is Cybill Sixpence. Today's build is a special request from Couch Potatoes 7896. We're going full frontier with this 3-floor log cabin, complete with cozy front porch and a chill back deck. If you love woodsy vibes and big dreams, grab your tools. Go find you a piece of land. Here's your materials list. And let's get building. One thing that I do like about log cabins is you don't necessarily have to have flat terrain because they can be held up on stilts all the same. So if you log into your world and your world is unforgiving with its terrain, try making a log cabin. It's up to you as to whether you want to have some terraforming. In this build I did because I am wanting to have my basement or my first floor down below the ground, but going into the opening that's down below. So even though I did some terraforming, I did not go all the way down to the lowest level, so it is still going to be up on stilts. This is a 17 by 21 build, but the house itself is a 17 by 11. The front porch is a 14 by 5 and the back porch is an 11 by 5. Currently I am building the first floor, which is just going to be a simple rectangle that's 17 by 11 using granite blocks. I am going to go ahead and fill in the wall, and then my floor I'm going to be using some spruce planks, and this is going to be basically the first floor of the build. I am going to extend the granite all the way down into the ground level, but where I place the spruce planks, that's going to be the floor. Once my floor is completed, I'm going to decide where my back porch door is going to be and punch out a little hole based on where that level is and add on my back porch using the same spruce planks at an 11 by 5. And then rising that up with the stilts of stripped spruce logs, and then changing the underside into spruce stairs so that we have a little bit of depth, and then outlining that with some spruce trapped doors. Moving on to the second floor, I'm going to be using some stripped spruce logs in order to build that up. I'm going to pop out the corners by 1 block and then just continue going up by 5 layers. This will be the primary living quarters of the house. I really don't think that log cabins need a whole lot of land terraforming, but as you see fit, as you feel crowded with the land space, you can always go back and terraform a little bit more. It's not really that difficult to terraform. The texture pack that I like using is the Mitsuni 16 Craft, and it gives this very nice texture for the polished deep slate, which I'm going to use to build the roof. I am going to be using a stair block combination so that it is stair and then an underside stair with a block, and then repeating that pattern all the way until you reach the top of your roof. This is a relatively easy roof to build, and really the house could stand as it is in the roof, and as I'm building it here, if you don't want an additional room or an opening or a window area coming out of the roof, this will work just fine. Later I do build in an additional room into the roof, which is completely optional. This ultimately is your house. You build it the way you like it. With added textures, I'm going to come out 1 block and add in some composts, and then fill in the underside of that with spruce trap stairs, and doing the same thing to the other side of the house. To break up this texture between the stripped spruce logs and the granite, I'm going to outline the house with some spruce trap doors. And then to break up the pattern in the granite, I'm going to go around and pop holes in the walls of the granite, and I'm going to use polished granite and the polished granite slab, which when you combined 2 of them together to 1 block does make a whole new texture, which will definitely add a lot of visual to the log cabin. In the second floor of the house, I'm going to be breaking away 4 of the blocks through the stripped spruce logs to make windows. I will be doing that in various places around the house, and then moving up into the second part of the house before adding the floor in. I've decided I'm going to add 3 windows, my center window being 1 block higher than the other 2, because I think it's just going to add a little bit of style into our houses, and then I'm going to outline them with some oak stairs on both the top floor and the middle floor. A little bit of training happening right here where I want to smooth out that deep drop in the grass. For the windows in the first floor, I'm going to break that away and add in a granite wall. The texture pack does have a little bit of some weird texturing, which would be nice if it was a fence or a garden edging, but for the windows, we're just going to leave this as it is. The front porch is going to be a 14 by 5 extension of the house using spruce plank. I've decided I wanted the door to be in the center of the porch, and so with that, I'm going to be adding spruce stairs in line with the house, and then we're going to top this porch with campfires and extinguish them all. Continuing with the stripped spruce logs, I'm going to just pop out all of the logs and connect them from the underside, and then trim that with spruce stairs, and then making this little arch between the stripped spruce logs and the campfires as if it's holding up the campfires. Just add that extra level of depth, and then I'm going to remove the outermost spruce planks and replacing them with upside down spruce stairs. I added barrels along the bottom side and spruce trap doors along the top side just to add some detailing, and then I used some acacia fencing to go around the porch. I chose to break away a segment of my roof where I can add in an extension to the top floor of the house. I did make it a 5 blocks wide, but I do later go back in and make it a little bit wider at 7 blocks so that I can add more windows into it, because I thought that really looked better with the windows. The roof, I am using polished deep slate slabs, and I'm going up by 1/2 level every time until I reach the roof so it's blended in. I did use oak stairs to trim out the window, but I do go back and I make that a little bit wider later. A quick little build of a chimney here using polished granite, capped with some campfires and some spruce trap doors, and then just adding texture to it with other versions of polished granite. Again, adding this extension is completely optional, but here is where I do broaden that a bit so that I can have 3 windows. I'm still going to be using some oak stairs to trim that out. When it comes to glass windows though, I do like the cyan glass paints because it's clear and it has a really pretty design in this texture pack, and I go around to all of my windows and use that. So I'm now going to go around the house and I'm going to be adding in some extra details like lighting. I'm going to be adding buttons. Wherever you think you feel that there needs to be a little extra touch, it's perfectly fine. Your house doesn't have to look exactly like mine. I do know that I don't want some mobs spawning in close by, so I'm going to be purposeful in where I have light placement underneath the porch, inside the house, on the corners of the house, just before I start adding some gardening decorations. Once I am satisfied with the tiniest of details, I'm going to go in with my front area and start working out a pathway so that I can begin to line my area with some foliage, flowers, leaves, what have you, sweet berries, everywhere I think I need some extra life. And that's our 3-floor log cabin, porches and all. If you like this build, give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe for more cozy creations. Got a request? Drop it in the comments. I might build yours next. Thank you for watching.